Warning. This program may contain explicit language that may be considered offensive or inappropriate to children and some adults.
The following content is intended for mature audiences only.
Hey everyone, good evening and welcome to another episode of Geekin Out, where a couple of random folks get together and geek out about certain things. So I'm going to be your host again for tonight, Ricky Z. You know me as a mom, an educator, social media manager, someone that's always around Nelly Media backstage. So that's me. You can find me at
Wonder Woman.
Thank you. You can find me on Instagram at Ricky RICKEY _Z, because Ricky with the EY is short for Rikia. It's not just Y, it's EY. There's a reason. And you can find me at Twitter at _RickyZ. So hope you can find me there. All right. We have our resident, we keep saying that about each other, resident person, yes, Julian, anime, cosplay, extraordinaire. Look, if you have never seen any of Julian's cosplay,
oh my god, I'm making a costume currently. We're going to geek out about it in a hot minute. Yes. It's like a costume, but it's not. It's more like ready to wear kind of a thing, but it's for Pride, that's why.
But I don't care. I want to see it.
I'm in the making mood though, so I'm ready to make the next one. So.
Yes. Okay. So quick thing, Julian though. So you can find Julian on Instagram at bad with 2 D's, BADD Juju JUJ. Yes. On Instagram. So Julian, I'm gonna need you to help me create a Halloween costume for my daughter. She's going to be Amethyst from Crystal Gems.
Girl, yes.
So we're going to have
Yes.
we're going to... Yes.
Oh,
yes, because we're going to do the purple wig. I'm going to find some body paint and make her purple. It's going to happen.
Yes.
Do it. Okay, that's exciting. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
In the future.
Yes. Steven Universe feature.
Steven Universe feature.
I've been looking for costume pieces actually when I shouldn't be, but I don't have the money or the time right now. What am I doing this now?
Right. So I'm one of those people that where I will create Amazon wish list for different things. I've done that for the kids' birthdays and for kids' Christmas, and I send and I share those out to the grandparents so they can buy the things.
Yeah.
Come on, budget.
Right.
The budgetista would be thrilled by this.
Look, anything that's super expensive, you know what? Let the grandparents, they can fight over that. But I'll do that for Halloween costumes too. Okay, these are the things I need for this costume. Let me go ahead and just plan this out. This is what we need right here. And then I'll find it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you've been wondering who's right here on the bottom. It's Mo. It's our favorite. Justice for Mo. Let Mo geek out. So Mo is our friend from TalkItOut. Usually on TalkItOut most often, but also on our other sister podcast, Sip and Kiki.
Yes.
Peace. And we'll figure something out with that. We're gonna figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We are.
We'll just try not to have it at 10 o'clock at night. That's.
Amen.
Because if I gotta be a part of it, I can't do the 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday. I'm sorry, I can't.
It starts out with bonnet time, so I already know.
Look, literally bonnet while I'm trying to set y'all up for the evening. I can't.
Okay, hello.
Right. So if
I understand.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Oh, so yes, you can find Mo at MOSE MoesMithPro. So Mo Smith Pro on IG,
So-
Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever you want to find them. Basically. And that's the same thing you can do to find them on the Cash App. Just in a little cash.
Right, whatever amount, no matter how small and no matter how large, whatever you want to bless me with. Yes, Lord. Make sure
my Cash App up here. I'm
and
clearly
you
doing
should.
this all wrong.
Look, I did it for a little bit. And my mom and my aunt sent me a couple dollars. You know, I was like,
yeah, it's like when you're there. Like, yeah.
Hello. Listen,
Yeah,
shout out
honestly,
to
it's a
T.S.
dollar.
Madison. Yeah, definitely shout out to T.S. Madison. I didn't come up with this by myself. I got to give credit where credit's due, where I got it from. But make sure that you check me out. That is $MoeSmithPS and Paul RO, and that's for the folks that are listening on the podcast later on.
Anchor. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, Yam, Sweezer, Jonkular. Yes, there is a bonnet time at a certain point.
It's coming later.
Right. Ricky Z is going to have on her hot pink bonnet, and that means it is time for bed. It is
and I dare the comedian Monique say something, okay?
Right. I will wear this bonnet on screen. I have no problem with it. I don't.
She does not.
Just like she didn't have a just like she didn't have a problem wearing that robe on screen either. Hello, somebody.
Look, thank you. Rude.
Just a little bit. Little hypocritical, just a little bit.
A little bit. You coming in your bonnet, not your bonnet, but your robe, and you got your hair, some pins and curls, and
getting ready for the next day.
Right.
Yes. But look, she's a legend. Shout out to a legend, nonetheless.
Yes. Like I got you for when you were like trying to get your due with Netflix and getting your money. Like, yes, I agree, but. Come on now. Don't be Terry Crews on us. Don't do a Terry Crews on us.
No, it's not about being Terry Crews, but right is right, is wrong is wrong. You can't be expecting producer money when you're being talent.
Yeah, you have to be working at producer status.
Okay.
I mean, you can do both.
You can do both, but you can't come in saying I'm talent and you should pay me like a producer.
Okay.
Timon. Nice to see you. It's been a long time since you've been on. Hey, come visit us sometime soon, please. I think Timon's been on TalkItOut. I'm not sure if he's been on Geekin Out before. I feel like he's been on it once. But anyways,
I don't think so because I don't think I remember.
Wait, Yam said white people do. Yeah, they do, but that don't mean they get it, and that don't mean they go have a temper tantrum saying don't go watch Netflix.
Right.
Or maybe they do, and maybe that's what we're talking about. That's why she's doing it. She's seen a white person do it. She's like, maybe I can too, and
It's always limitations with that. Yes, there's privilege.
I mean, like, what was it? Amy Schumer. That was one of the examples she used. She said,
but again, Amy Schumer was a producer. That was a produced product she produced.
Oh. And she's not.
That was.
I feel like at this point in your career, you should be able to be producing something. Look, what's her name? Something Moss. What's her name? And Handmaid's Tale. No, not Kate Moss.
I know. I don't know. I can't remember.
No, so like she was in Mad Men, but she's the lead character in Handmaid's Tale. She's an executive producer now for that show. It's four seasons in, but like
right. Yeah. But that's how you grow into it. And see, the thing about it is with that situation, the name she was rattling off.
Not Catherine Moss, it's something else.
Yeah, one of the Mosses, honey. Because even with the example that she gave with, talking about, well, let me just say this. Yes, there is a gap between wages, especially with black women. But the thing about it is you have to give clear and concise examples. You can't just compare apples with oranges and expect everybody to be on your side like that, because we're in the information age and people can just easily go look on Google.
Yes, Elizabeth
you know what I'm saying?
That is, yes.
Elizabeth Moss.
Yes, I agree with you, Mo, but also, yes, Elizabeth Moss. That's the one.
Right.
That's the one. Like, if you're not getting executive producer credits at some point, and I don't know, I guess unless you're like one of those big ensemble shows, but even some of those have the actors being executive producers.
Right, but here's the thing. There's even like that comedian Del Rey that got the pretty eyes.
Yes.
His Netflix deal was like reportedly $7 million.
Mm-hmm.
So again, finished product. Here you go, Netflix. Here's a finished product. Give me $7 million. I have this many people on social media. I tour all the time. I have a very public place I face because I'm also doing Wild 'N Out. Here,
Right.
you can't come on saying, yeah. It's like we're at a different, like this is different. They do things a little bit differently now from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like she has a social media following, but it's not even 1 million,
Yeah.
which is a travesty. If I was her manager, I would have focused on like, okay, honey, you've done this weight loss journey. Let's focus on making money with that. You can have your own, like, your own video, your own like subscription channel. You could have been made because you do videos constantly of your workouts and stuff like that. Like you come on, like sis, you could have been making like you could have been balling. The health and fitness industry is a multi-billion-dollar business. And there's plenty of big women out there that want to be fit, but also they're not looking to be like a size 2, but they do want to be healthy. Like that could she could have had a whole Skinny Women Are Evil like product line. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so but the length of time of your career matters. Yes, but what are you doing during that time that you're trying to get this money? So as far as I know, like besides what she does on social media, like I'm sure she was still touring, but
no,
she was
not really. Touring was kind of non-existent.
But the thing is, like when Amy Schumer was doing this, like Amy Schumer has been in a couple movies. Like she was in things she was in the spotlight, so that's kind of helping her be able to pull some of that money that she was getting. So,
she had 2 blockbuster movies. She had also sold out the Madison Square Garden twice at the time.
Right. So
Dave Chappelle had. Yeah, Dave Chappelle wasn't really
trying to go comedian. I'm sorry, I'm not entirely sure what we're talking about exactly.
Well, no, Amy Schumer was another comedian that made $11 million on her deal, but then she was able to go back to Netflix and renegotiate after Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle received over $20 million reportedly for their comedy specials. So she was able to renegotiate to get $13 million. Now, here's the thing: when Monique was negotiating with Netflix, she was going to be talent. You remember that show? I don't know if you know of the show that what's her name? The one that was on Girls Trip. Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
So that show that Tiffany Haddish has on Netflix, where she's like opening for new talent. Mm-hmm. That's what they were going to have Monique doing, but she was going to be talent on there. She was hosting it. It wasn't a comedy special where she was like, here's this comedy special, now give me money. No, I'm going to be talent. So for her being talent, they were willing to offer her, I believe the deal was, I think, $250,000. And then they were like, well, we want more money. And they were like, okay, well, we'll do $500,000, but we need to see you audition to see if you still got it, because number one, you haven't really done anything in the spotlight in a while, other than your scandals with Tyler Perry and what's the other one? From Power, not Power, excuse me. Oh, from well, you know who I'm talking about, Star and them. And then also, you don't have a real social media following. Yes, you have accolades, but those accolades are at that point in time, it was like 13 years ago. Yeah. So in that industry, she knows out of all people that you're only as good as your last hit. So
when was her last hit? Because honestly, to be perfectly honest, I was actually just watching one of her comedy specials like 3 days ago.
Right.
Like, to go to bed though, but I can't remember if it was like on Pluto TV, which is like where all like the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The third tier television like gets regulated too, but
right, because it was so long ago. But the thing about it is with Steve Harvey, remember at that point he's still on TV. He also had the Think Like a Man, where they had that movie and the sequel that did really well. He also is doing Family Feud, and he also has his radio show that's on Urban Media, on not Radio One. That's the largest Black contemporary radio corporation in the country. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, at the time he was doing his talk show. So he had all these things going on. You know what I'm saying? Yes, she paved the way, but at the same time, you're still only as good as your last hit. Because
I mean, that's we did her dirty and how it was handled, but
I disagree that we did her dirty, because it's all about what are you doing, because she keeps on harping about what happened 15 years ago with Lee Daniels, which with Precious.
Daniels, yeah.
But here's the thing. She knew going into it that okay, I'm only getting paid $60,000 for this thing, and I'm doing it as a favor. Basically, she did that movie thinking that it wasn't going to do anything, but it ended up doing something, and now she has sour grapes because okay, well, typically with your contracts, you're supposed to do all that, publicity stuff. That's a part of your how much you got. So you negotiated wrong because you didn't think this movie was going to go anywhere. See, if she had the proper manager, then the proper manager would have told her, okay, sis, you go ahead and do that, but then you put yourself down as a producer. Get your way into the producing guild association to make your money that way,
Mm-hmm.
to build your legacy. See, all
Yeah.
that talking right now, all that's doing is basically is isolating herself from other people because in that industry they're so small knit, and they don't,
Mm-hmm.
and if they consider you as a troublemaker, they don't fool with you. I.e., the
Right.
original uncle I'm sorry, Aunt Via from Fresh Prince of Bel Air. She got branded as a troublemaker, and nobody would mess with her.
Right. All right. So like we actually really got like way off base for a little
Yes, we
bit.
did. Sorry,
Okay.
y'all. My
Sorry,
bad.
sorry,
Sorry.
It's okay. But we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna talk about what we're geeking out about. So we'll be right back.
Ah!
Hi, this is Cody from Cody Paul Media. Thank you for joining me. Anybody can record a video, but the question is, how do you make that video stand out among the rest? A quick animated video like this one can change things around for your company, so go to codypaulmedia.com and get those needs met today. See you later.
All right, that was Cody Paul Media. He has done some of the early work for designing things for Nelly Media, like our website, some graphics for TalkItOut. So we shout out to Cody Paul, Francis, and Cody Paul Media. All right. So the next thing is, what are we geeking out about? So Mo will be right back. So Julian, you go first, and then if Mo goes back, we'll have them go, and then I'll go last. If not, I'll go to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna open with the small ones, right? So I finished Jupiter's Legacy, all in one fell swoop. I was like, okay, so it's good. It's good. I'm not expecting it to be as good, I guess, but I
need to watch that. Like I've been wanting to watch it, and I haven't.
Yeah, I think if you watch Boys or anything like that,
I do love Boys.
It's gonna be very much within the same wheelhouse. I feel like I haven't actually seen Boys, so I'm not entirely sure. I don't actually know, but I hear that it's really, really good.
I love The Boys.
Want to watch that one. But this one was still pretty good. I mean, it dealt with more just the dynamics of being a superhero and in real life, and then there's drug abuse and all this other stuff in there. So it's just okay, they're getting nitty and gritty things that I like. But it's pretty solid. Whoever this, oh God, what is his name? George's son. Okay, you probably don't know. You're not familiar with the characters. What is his name? Oh God, I'm gonna have to find out.
Julian, where can they find your cosplay real quick? Your cosplay.
Oh, you can find it actually on my well, I don't have an actual cosplay page yet, profile, but you can find it on Bad Juju, BADDJUJU on Instagram.
Yeah.
There it is. That you'll be able to find it there. If you can scroll through a little bit, you'll see them. We've done a few over the years. I don't have enough pictures, which is a shame.
Unfortunate.
It is an absolute shame, but it is something that I have been kind of habitually doing for maybe 8 years now, something like that. Every Halloween we kind of go out. It's not just a costume. It is much more like a cosplay kind of a thing. We go ham. But boys. Jupiter's Legacy. That's what it was. Jupiter's Legacy. Okay, so Jupiter's Legacy is it's pretty good though. But there is the son. I can't remember the actor's actual name, but oh my Jesus, he is beautiful. So I'm like, okay, I can watch this. I can keep watching this. But it's good. It's still pretty nice. What else have I been up to? There was also so in preparation for this, actually, I came across a show that I was not expecting to like, I guess. So you know, we're doing Lego and everything like that. So I've been just kind of delving into the Lego land that we have on streaming now. And elves, Lego elves. It's like a regular anime. It's very like She-Ra, like kind of like, you know, it's very like that, but the animation's just a little bit better. But it's that level of maturity, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like adolescent and stuff. But still, it's, you know, but they still target enough for parents, so that parents who watch, they can like adults who watch, they can get something out of this. And to be honest, teens can still get the same things out of the same things out of the show that adults can. So anyway, it's actually really good. I was surprised. I was like, the animation in here is nice. It's pretty nice. And then I've just started Demon Slayer, the anime that's been on Netflix for quite a while. And I'm like just getting to it now. And that one comes with a lot of accolades. That one is actually still kind of really good though, and I understand why now. Like the way that the magic system is amazing. So we all know that's like one of my favorite parts. Yes. So for an anime, it's like really well done. Magi is also up there, I would say. If you've never watched that one is also great on the magic side. Labyrinth of Magic is awesome. That one's the second season. Awesome. I think. Yeah, second. Okay, and then so now Demon Slayer. I think there's only one season currently on Netflix. But I'm just getting into it. I'm in like the fourth episode. No, actually a little more than that, like fourth or fifth episode now. But it's really, really good. Like the animation is great. The magic system is amazing. It's really well fleshed out, which is always the best part. You know, everything kind of makes sense. It has some kind of logical sense to it. And then on top of that, the animation is so killer. Okay, so they mix a little bit of like your contemporary animation with that like old school scroll feel. I can't really tell. I'm not really sure how.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's not exactly how to describe that properly, except for that way. But like that's just the way that the animation is. You know, they blend them together very well. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And like just the way it's all done together with the magic. I mean, with the with the magic system and just the way that they flow the animation with it, it's really nice. So it's very much worth watching if you haven't gotten to it, even though it's been on Netflix for forever. And then what is the last thing? Oh, okay. So last thing, we've been talking about costumes and things. Here we go. Biggest thing I've been geeking out about, because I feel like I've been like a little gay elf for the past like 3 or 4 days. I've just been like pinning, sewing. It's been the best thing though.
Happy Pride.
I know, happy Pride. I love doing these things. So I made like this harness, I suppose, of a sort that is killer. I'm not quite done with it yet, so I can't show you guys. I don't actually have it even in my possession at the moment. But with like a pair of shorts and stuff. So I made like this whole little outfit. It's nice though. The shorts were a pain in the ass, but I finished them today. I know it's nice, but it's cool. So I'm really getting revved up for Pride, because that is actually coming up in next week. I got my second vaccination shot yesterday. Holla for a dollar.
Look at you.
I know. I mean, I have no problems, which is the best part. The only thing is my arm is sore, which is exactly what happened the first time. So I was just like, oh, nice, yes, win. Yeah, I know. So I'm like, okay, we're not going. So I'm ahead of the curve on that, but also Pride weekend. So customarily I have been, for like the past 12 years, maybe I have been 9 years now. I have been going to Pride in New York City with a group of friends, like 10 of us. We all get together like twice a year. Pride being one of them, Halloween sometimes the other, but Pride for sure every year. So it's like a really great time. You know, it's a time to like see a lot of people that I don't get to as well. Like things where we were all in different states. Our lives have taken us to different places. You know, we were at one point always all together, but now things are different now. You know, so you know, we get older and such. So we come together every year for Pride. So that's like our mecca. our little pilgrimage that we do, and it's great. I love it. So it's just, if anything, it's just the spirit of the community that I'm here for. So we always get together every Pride. So I'm just getting ready for it. And then Thursday we're going out. And I'll be living wild for like 3 or 4 days. It's actually not that bad. I've toned down a lot. I used to be much more reckless back in my day.
Drink water. Drink all the water.
Oh my God!
Don't
always
take
water.
drinks from strangers.
Water and wine, and only drinks that I buy.
Right, and have fun and don't drink and drive.
That's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. We got this big suite at the Trip Hotel on 35th. Like it's like right in Times Square area. Oh God, it has a balcony. It is so nice. We've been going to this hotel for like years straight. Like they hate us. I know it. Oh man, we've had maybe a fight there once or twice. Whatever, things happen. But
just always remember, liquor before beer. You're always in the clear.
There you go.
You can never go wrong with a vodka soda. Okay.
Listen, I don't drink beer. Period. So that just makes my life much easier.
Better.
And usually I open with wine and then I'll finish with the harder stuff. And if I get like one or two, but I've toned down a lot. Yeah, I can't.
Oh my.
I can't, man. It's hard. I have to I need like a vacation after a vacation to recover from the vacation, so I can actually like do what I need to do because I'm like old now. Oh God! And these kids, some of my friends like that we get together with, we've been doing this for years now. So and they are like years younger, I guess. So like what I want to say, but you're young enough that they can rebound, and I'm out here struggling. Like, nah, son. Need some time. But anyway, so I'm getting ready for that. So I've been like pinning, sewing, gluing. Oh man, it's been a fun time. Just crafting and stuff. But I've been kind of getting like revved up and excited for Halloween now because I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I feel like there was a costume that I knew for sure that I was going to do maybe like 3 days ago. Right now, I can't remember what it is. But I was like, I'm definitely doing that this year for Halloween. But haven't gotten around to it quite yet. But it's been nice though. It's been nice because I've also noticed that my seamstress skills have also improved a little bit over the course of the past few days in this last outfit that I've been doing. I'm like, okay, I see you, Julian. I see you doing a little more than you usually do. So I'm like, okay, this is nice. So anyway, it was nice. It was good. That's my Geekin' Out. I'm just getting revved up and ramped. I'm excited to be here. Oh, Juneteenth was 3-4 days, 5, 6 days.
Yesterday, no, 2 days ago. 2 days ago.
2 days ago?
Yeah.
I thought it was the 15th. That's not right.
No, So Juneteenth is June 19th.
So it was Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Lord, got that all wrong. Oh well, happy Juneteenth. I hope it was good.
Yes.
Happy belated.
Happy belated. I know. Well,
It's cool. Nope.
I'm seeing you now.
I was just about to get into it. It's all right. Oh, thank you so much.
Well, Mo, do you want to go next?
Yes, of course. So so to kind of piggyback on what we was talking about with Pride, I was just in Dallas for Dallas Pride, Southern Pride 2021. Got my whole entire life. Shout out to the promoters for the pool party they had. I had a blast. Yes, there's pictures of me in my swimsuit, on Facebook, I had to let them know Daddy still got it. You know what I'm saying? So, so I didn't get a chance to do a lot of traditional Geeking Out, but my favorite, My Hero Academia, is still going strong. I'm still watching Deku getting, trying to become the very best, like Pokemon, trying to catch all the criminals. The very best. Right. Which, the sad part, Pokemon was really past my generation. Well, I was already past it. I was like damn near grown by the time Pokemon came to the States. But I still give it respect for respect is due. I watched a little bit of the Lego stuff, and then what I've gotten hit to is Dr. Stone. And Dr. Stone is very interesting because it's basically in the tradition of a post-apocalyptic anime. The Earth is basically being engulfed in this green glow, and it turned everybody to stone. And 3,700 years later, one of the survivors actually became unstoned and basically to set on a track in order to bring civilization back. Real cool concept. I'm digging it. They've had fighting and tribal warfare and all that kind of stuff, and actual the stuff that they talk about how to create is actually valid. So I feel kind of geek too. The geeky side is really like and then the other show that I've really gotten into lately is Cells at Work, and it's Cells at Work Black. So with Cells at Work, that show is basically has all of the little cells of the red blood cells, white blood cells.
Wanting to watch that one, but not quite getting around to
it. Cute.
It sounds like it. I was like, oh, do I want cute right now though? Is this what I feel like?
Okay, well, if you
cute right now,
do.
Okay,
is it that cute? Then yes, I'll do it.
It is. Is that cute? But if you don't want cute, they also have Cells at Work Black, where basically it's the same concept, but it's much darker theme because the body they're in is older. So it's all rusty on the inside, and all of them have like negative light. And then they also talked about sex, and I was like,
I was not expecting this one.
Right. It is kind of like Osmosis Jones. It is, but they use all of the scientific names, like all the way down to the bacteria, the cells, even cancer cells, because that was a villain on the show. Yeah, they really,
That's cool. Okay, so I see this.
Yeah, so I would definitely would watch it. So, but that's pretty much what I've been.
So random about Osmosis Jones, but the animator, like the head animator, I think, Ryan Woodward, James Ryan, one of those two.
Okay.
Wood something. Actually, so he years ago, because I can't remember his name because Osmosis Jones came out 1,000 years ago, and then shortly okay, long enough, and then like a half of that time ago, I had come across him again, or at least the lead animator, and he had done this animation video for for a song. So it was like an animation music video, I suppose. It was so stunning. It was so beautiful. It lives in my head to this day. I will never forget it. It's called Thought of You. And that's all I can tell you. Ryan Woodward. Thought of You. Here, I'm gonna look it up for you guys shortly, and maybe we'll put it up. But stunning, beautiful, stunning. It's like 3 minutes, and you might cry a little bit. Oh my god, 3 minutes, and you'll be changed. It's worth watching. Yes.
Oh well, damn. Okay, Yam.
Yeah.
She got the link.
Got links.
Oh, bitch, she got it already.
Come on,
links. Thank you. Let's go to primary sources.
Right, appreciate that. Okay. See, that's what I love about Geeking Out. Y'all just come with receipts. I love it. Receipts live.
Right.
Receipts.
We want the links to watch the things. We want to watch the things.
Give us I know I'm terrible at that.
Right. You can watch it for free. Come on.
Well, yeah, right. Now I can't say for free for the shows I want to.
Oh, bitch, it is Woodward.
Yeah.
Brian Woodward, Thought of You. Yes.
Yeah, I went ahead and bit the bullet, and I bought the Funimation streaming.
Ooh,
that must be amazing.
It's a lot of different stuff on there.
That's what I'm saying. It must be amazing.
Right, it is. I just couldn't bring myself to buy Crunchyroll, and I can't bring myself to actually watch Crunchyroll for free because Crunchyroll, they have 5-6 commercials after one segment. And it just makes me want to pull my hair out, literally, because it's just
I feel like Crunchyroll
they do that on
has
purpose,
a partnership with HBO.
Yeah, they do that on purpose to make you buy their paywall. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
You won't get me. I won't even watch it.
I could have sworn Crunchyroll had a partnership with HBO.
They do have some of the programs on there, but not all of it. You still got to go to Crunchyroll for it. Because there's one show, that I was like, damn, I want to see it. But I can't because it's exclusively on Crunchyroll.
Is it the Fireman one? Because I still want to watch that one.
No, that's on. It's on Hulu, but the new episodes for this past season are on Funimation app. So I was able to
It's
watch
on
this
Hulu
past
though.
season.
Julian.
Yeah,
I think someone has a Hulu somewhere.
Look,
I know terrible.
I
I
mean,
know.
I
I know.
got
It's
it.
my point. I could swear I have it already, but
you
am
probably
terrible.
do.
You know,
You
right?
know where
Because
to hit me up.
I'm like,
My thing
dang
is
it,
like
I paid for.
there's too many platforms. How can I watch them all?
Well, they're doing it. They're doing that on purpose.
Yes.
They're
They did it
completely
on purpose.
oversaturated the market, where people are going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to go behind the paywall and figure out something else. They're basically
And it's
pushing
like
people out, and it's a quick money grab because people all they care about is just to get the quick cash. Damn the industry, and it's like
Yeah.
y'all just draining the water. Like
and it's
don't
a
do
shame
that.
because it's like they are what they are still creating. They're making like all these streaming apps themselves. They all have their own content that they're also
Yes.
creating in
Yes.
addition to all the content
Exactly.
that other big production companies are creating and then now putting on streaming platforms.
Exactly.
So it's like there is just so much stuff on there that's like I can't sit down and watch this shit all day. I have
Right.
to work.
Speaking of
I
that,
have things to do. Like like
I just remember what else I've been geeking out over, and people are gonna be like, "What?" I've been geeking out over Bleach, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
that's like
So
throwback.
so I've been watching a lot of character reviews from various different YouTube creators, and it's like really good how they explain like all the arcs on that series. But come to find out, the last arc, the Thousand Year War, is being animated as we speak, and it's supposed to be coming out in 2020 fall 2022. So I'm really excited about that because I know the people have been like, it fell off after they got, after they spoiler alert handled Eisen, but I still have a special place in my heart for Bleach, and to top it off, and Adult Swim has been doing this whole, well, they opened up their sound, the little don't. They opened up their sound on TikTok. So there's a whole like boatload of TikTokers that have been like using that music and making their own little, and it's like it's basically marketing genius because basically all you did was just release the sound, and you're letting the creators basically, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter.
Run wild.
They're running wild, and everybody's watching it. Like that was on my feed like all last week.
I gotta find that then.
Yeah, and also musically, because I'm also a music geek. Megan Thee Stallion came out with Thought Shit last week, but here's the caveat. Right, here's the caveat, because what happens, particularly with urban music, a lot of black TikTokers will create a dance for it, and then a bunch of mainstream TikTokers will literally take that exact same dance, say that they did it themselves, and get all the accolades and credit for it. Well, this time, Black TikTok didn't do it. They didn't do any dances.
They sure didn't. That was
and,
a joy.
And of course, no dances came out.
There has been no dances associated with it. And
no dances from black creators. No dances from
black
creators.
But their mainstream ones also aren't going to come out with anything either.
No.
So it's like they tried, but it's terrible. Like the best they've gotten is like a little, maybe a snap to the beat. They have
words.
It shows how the lack of creativity that those mainstream TikTokers are, and it basically calls it the carpet. Like, yes, you literally been stealing from these black TikTokers and been basically expanding on all the accolades. I've been getting my whole life on it, so
it's hilarious.
Right, it is. I
feel like when the second coming of the Harlem Shake came about, I feel like that was like the culmination, the peak of this is clearly what's happening. Like they're just stealing shit. You know what I mean? They're just taking shit. You know what I mean? Coining it their own and then just kind of rolling with it.
Like I don't know if you saw that, but like they were literally they called it the Harlem Shake, and it clearly was not the Harlem Shake from like the late '90s, early 2000s.
Not at all.
Where everybody was wearing like the extra large.
That was like the Harlem Shake that somebody who can't do one did.
Right.
And
But they were
just
calling the
let's
Harlem
just
Shake,
throw it
and
up
you
there.
would post, kids would be posted, and like, oh, this is the Harlem Shake. No, that's not the Harlem Shake at all. What are you doing? No.
we're having seizures
That's
out
not
here.
it.
That is not the Harlem
No.
Shake.
Or the Cabbage
like-
Patch.
Right. Not even. Like,
No,
and
no,
like,
no, no. The run when they were doing the Running Man, and then they were doing it to My Boo, and I was like, "What is?"
No,
what
that's
is
not the
happening?
wrong. That's not the right era. What are you doing?
Right?
No. Obviously, y'all parents didn't go to Freaknik. No.
A baby, but I did. I got my whole life back then too. Freak me, 97.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Oh, honey, I had my hair. I had hair all the way down to my shoulders and stuff with my little bob. You know what I'm saying? I had my little Old Navy outfit on. I had an Old Navy T-shirt and Old Navy khakis. Because even then, I was like, even though I was in denial, clearly I was totally a whole dude. And I was watching. I was like, wait a minute. There's all these G-strings out here, and then there's also ladies. Catch
I
it.
like this better.
So,
hey,
ooh,
hey,
somebody
Justin.
said
Hey,
there's a
Justin. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Destiny.
Hello?
Oh, somebody said there's a documentary on Freaknik. God, I hope I'm not in it.
Oh,
It's a possibility.
I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, I'm just saying though, because like
keep an eye out. You never
when we
know.
joke about that, like, you know, some of us that are in our you know, late 20s and 30s, we might have a parent or a sibling or somewhere up in there, aunt, uncle that might be in that video, that documentary.
Right. And the only reason why I even caught Freaknik is because I stay in Atlanta. So,
Right.
you know, and I was still in high school at the time. You know, there was a lot of people that were coming down at that point, and it was like, it's funny because how they shut it down. Yet DragonCon is okay for that to be around. Labor Day college football, that's okay to be around. You have so many things that have the same level of traffic, but they were like, oh no, we got to stop this Freaknik. Because I mean, Midtown has a Midtown Music Festival every year.
Oh yeah,
that has the whole like block, like
be a whole
packed.
weekend. Packed.
Right. So it's just like, wait a minute. She ties feminist community in Atlanta to the abuse against women and slavery in Georgia. Wait a minute. What do you mean? I'm not really understanding that comment. Because the thing about it is that, you know, being there were incidences of sexual assault, but unfortunately that was coming from the people that lived here. That wasn't coming from the people that were coming down.
This might be a TalkItOut.
That's definitely a TalkItOut segment. Yeah, let's keep it cute. Let's keep it cute. Yeah, we can talk about this on Thursday because
right.
You know,
but no, because like this would have been a great topic, a great thing to talk about during TalkItOut on Thursday because we're talking about rape culture. We're talking.
Oh wait, we talked about rape culture last week, didn't we?
Yeah, last week. That's what I meant. Like last.
Yeah, that would
Thursday.
have been. Yeah, that would have been a point.
It'd be great for TalkItOut, but just for you guys, when you do it, something like that also happened in New York actually for the Puerto Rican Day Parade. I think in one of the boroughs. I think they banned it actually for like years after that. After like incidents of sexual assault had happened and things like that, and then it made the news. It was big, and then they banned it for a little while. I think for forever, or at least for years before they decided to bring it back. So, to that point, helping in a little bit of research. But
I mean, unfortunately, I wish that the avenue would be more so police presence as opposed to just counseling events. And within that caveat that I wish that police presence would actually be a mode of safety, unfortunately, as opposed to when dealing with people of color, that it can lead to something worse. So festivals will never be like back in the day. Oh, honey, you haven't been to a Pride, have you? Because the Pride, honey,
they're still debating on whether or not to let the
holding on to
it.
Right. Because honey, they be out, honey. The girls be out.
Okay,
I'm not even talking about the ladies.
All right, so let's go back. Let's get back on to what we're geeking about. So, like, Mo, you good?
Yeah, I can't think. Yeah,
okay, really fast actually on the music thing. The 80s. I know I'm the worst about that. And one more thing. What's his name? Jackie Chan's uncle in that show. Anyway, okay, so we're talking about music. I definitely want to. I keep saying that I do want to do an 80s show here. We are going to get around to it when other things aren't as prevalent, I guess, or is
Yes.
Yeah,
What,
that's
80s?
fine.
So the 80s. Okay, so 80s music. All right, so I was listening to the radio like yesterday, 2 days ago, or whatever, and mother effing, it's some reggaeton song with an 80s disco beat on it, because disco is making its comeback. It's like really heavy in music these days. Even like disco's everywhere. If you hear it, it's everywhere. It's like you're listening to music, it's everywhere these days. But I was like, oh, they even put that bitch in like reggaeton. I was not expecting it, and I was like, but this beat is sick. This song, amazing. What? Reggaeton and some disco? I am done. They're like my two favorite genres together.
And
it was all in one song. It was so nice, though. Oh god.
And see, I can't really say I'm surprised by that, because reggaeton has, African roots within that, and disco obviously is a funk influence, which is another African American, influence.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
it fits.
Right, and plus, in that region, they take a lot of pop songs, and they make reggaeton and dancehall versions of it.
That's what I mean. It's the resurgence of disco and pop music in general, and music in general. You know what I mean? And they are getting on that bandwagon. They're finding the inspiration in that, and I'm looking for the song right now. Todo de ti. It's called Raúl Alejandro.
Okay, yeah.
Hey. Is that it? Hold on.
You tell us. We don't know.
No, sorry. Okay. I gotta make sure that was the last Shazam and it wasn't the one before that. Okay, so yes, it's called Todo de Ti. I'll write it in here for you so that we can.
Ooh.
I don't know how to post that. I'm gonna have to leave that to Ricky.
Look, you gotta give me the spellings for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him there. I'm gonna write it up for you at least by Raúl Alejandro. Okay.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Okay, it's sick.
Oh, he's from Venezuela. Okay. Ow. And that's
yes,
still,
he is. Yes, he is.
That's still that influence.
Also, like the Brazilian funk, it's like making its way into things. So keep an ear out for it. You're gonna hear that shit everywhere soon enough.
So I'm gonna put it up here real quick. I'm gonna capitalize some letters.
Sorry, maybe that would help you.
That's okay. No.
Come on, capitalization. Yes. Punctuation is
grammar.
A couple letters. At least the first name and last name.
Yes.
At least.
Yes.
Okay, cool. For those,
if you will.
Yeah.
Brasfoo?
I don't know what that is.
Is that what they call it? Is that Brazilian funk? Brasfoo?
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Oh, it's Raul, not Raw.
Oh, okay. Raul.
It's an L. It's an L, not a W.
Right.
Sorry about that.
No, we're gonna.
Is it
real quick?
Yeah.
Really? Because my Shazam says a W, which is why I'm surprised. But it could be Raul and
it is Raul. Oh, with an E. Is it with the E? Okay, we're gonna fix it with a
W. It is Rauw. Alejandro. That's
look, y'all.
Okay.
This is all right.
Anyhow.
Okay. Hopefully that's right. Okay. So
come on, Siri. That's why I like my Sam song. My Sam song.
Yes. If not on TikTok, find that person, please, because he's
because he is hilarious.
All right. So what I'm geeking out about. So actually, I've had a few things that I've watched and that's come up. So let's see. Hold on. Where's my little thing? Where is it? Here it is. Okay.
Where's her Elder Scroll?
Yes, I don't have my Elder Scroll. I don't have that. That's Chris's deal. All right, so so I randomly saw that Harriet the Spy, the Nickelodeon movie from the 90s based off the book.
Oh, okay.
Was on Roku. Not like the newer one. That newer one is based off the book, basically, but it's like a Disney version of that one. Mm-hmm. But no, the one from the 90s with Michelle Trachtenberg and Rosie O'Donnell. Mm-hmm. I loved that movie as a kid. Like, it came out when I was in second grade, and so my daughter just finished second grade. So we watched it. Yeah, no. We watched it together. She really liked it. And like I was telling, like I used to love this movie and I loved the book. Like I wanted to be a spy. Like I wanted to get. I had a notebook. I tried to find some things, little spy gear. Yes, she loved it. My son didn't care for it, but you know, he's fine.
I feel like kids these days, they don't connect easily with things of our time and our era. You know,
Yeah.
well, some of the older things of our era. You know what I mean? Some of the things that like our parents more got into, I guess, but like we still could vibe with because we were still we were still born in that time close enough, but like because there's a term elder millennial, I suppose, or like the millennials at the
I guess
the later
I feel like I'm a
they call us
millennial.
geriatric and millennials, and I don't appreciate it. First of all,
I don't appreciate it.
Because damn it, I'm not.
Well, I might be an elder millennial. Maybe that's why I'm.
I feel like I'm still in the middle of the millennial age. Like I'm still there.
You're in the middle. Unfortunately, I'm considered geriatric because I'm right at the borderline between millennial and Gen X.
Gen X.
So where does that lie? What age range does that lie within?
Okay, so Gen X is from 65
Without
to
giving
80,
my age away.
81. Well, some of them say 79, so they're like that line. And then from 80, 81 up till 94 is a millennial. And then after 94 is Gen Z.
Okay, so then maybe I'm mid millennial.
Right.
Yeah, because like I know like usually our oldest millennials are either like they're just turning 40 or they just entered their 40s. Like they're about to hit 40s, or they just entered their 40s.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
So back to Harry the Spy though, like
geriatric.
Don't say it.
No, never. Because honestly, what do they say? 40 is the new 30, right?
No, enjoy it for what it is. Like 30s are great. 30s are great. 40s are gonna be great. I don't care. But like I remember like having the Harry the Spy movie, and like you remember back then the Nickelodeon movies were orange. Like the VHS tapes were orange.
Yeah.
I had that. I would play that movie out so much, and like when I watched it, I was like, this movie is still top tier. Like,
right?
It really
the book
is.
was timeless. That's why.
Yes, it really was.
Because I would read those books. I would read all the Judy Blume books. I would also read Encyclopedia Brown. That's the one franchise I'm surprised that never came to fruition.
It's probably in the works somewhere.
Right, because if I remember correctly, they were in the same universe. Harry the Spy and Encyclopedia Brown. I think there may have been a crossover. I don't know. So,
but just like Rosie O'Donnell played Golly, and like I feel like if there's ever a role that I loved her in, it's that role as Golly the nanny. Like I don't know why, but like she was just so, I don't know, so soothing and like caring. And like if you wanted a nanny, you wanted Rosie O'Donnell to play Golly. That was
right.
You wanted it to be her. Like between like I think that one and like the Flintstones movie, the first one. I loved her. Right, I loved her.
Listen, I love Rosie O'Donnell. I would love to have a sit down with Rosie and Whoopi. I think those are two of like the older actresses that I'm like, I would love to just sit with y'all.
And I hate that she got a raw deal with The View because they were really trying to pin her between that young lady. Well, actually, that lady I think was my age. What was her name? That was on there.
The blonde one.
Yeah. No, not Megan. Megan's on there now. No, she's on there now.
No, that's the one that's on there now. That's right.
I know who you're talking about. That blonde lady who would fight with who? With the Whoopi, right? All the time.
Well, she did.
With Rose.
Also with Rosie.
No, she fought with Rosie. That's right.
That's right. Survivor.
I remember watching that fight.
Right. That's her claim to fame is that she was a survivor, and her and Rosie bumped heads all the time. And the producers basically hammed it up because they knew that was ratings.
They loved it. Yeah.
Because the ratings, because people were basically watching to see what are they going to say to each other next.
We're gonna fight about today.
So I don't know if Hallie and Rosie got supportings for Flintstones. Because I love that movie. Did it flop? I was a child. I don't care.
Speaking of film flops,
the flop was the sequel. Viva Las Vegas. That flopped.
No. So like they were in the
original.
First one.
Yeah, they were in the first.
The original was killer.
The original, Rosie was in both of them, but I think I think Holly was in the first one.
Yeah,
I don't
Holly
think she
was in the
first one. Yeah, so that one actually did well because they had a sequel. Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't a point because she played the secretary.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you know,
Yeah, the secretary went to jail. So yeah, I don't know.
Right.
And I think that Flintstones movie was actually a prequel. Wasn't that one a prequel?
Yeah, because it was like when they first had the babies. You know what I mean? It was before they got pregnant, I think, right?
The thing is, though, like I didn't care for the second one. I loved the first one. I didn't watch the second one.
Right. The sequel was kind of trash, but the first one, it wasn't. I wouldn't say that it's a prequel.
It's not exactly a prequel, but
because in actuality, the babies didn't come into play until because the Flintstones had like 5 seasons originally, and the babies didn't come into play until like the fourth or the 5th season.
But in the movie, it's like you saw Pebbles in the movie, and you saw them get Bam Bam in the first movie.
Right. Okay. Right, but that's not. Yeah, that wasn't a prequel because they didn't. The Bam Bam didn't come around. Pebbles and Bam Bam didn't come around until later on.
Okay. I was thinking the second one was more like a prequel than a sequel.
There, maybe just
because the Flintstones has been around since the 60s.
Yeah.
So basically, it was a cartoon version of like the Moonlighters or whatever. Yeah. So it was a lot of Pal and the Kisser type of comments and stuff like that.
To the moon.
To the moon, Alice, to the moon, which is like a euphemism for domestic violence. So that is not okay today at all. Yeah. But around the 80s, you had the Flintstone, the kids, they had their own show, where Pebbles and Bam Bam had their own show. Then you had a show, they had a Christmas special where they did the Christmas Carol. Then they also had the where the kids were grown up, which that was like, I think maybe a season or 2.
So you gotta go you gotta go into like the vaults of Cartoon Network to see that stuff.
Honestly, I was like,
or watch Boomerang because it's a lot of that is on Boomerang.
Yeah.
If you got cable, guys, or satellite,
it's on there.
It's on there. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of flops, random, also on the Geekin Out tip, I guess, Aragon, they are pushing for a remake. The author is pushing for a redo. Because the first one was, the first one kind of flopped. Yeah. The first one flopped. Okay, but I've said it before that the first one flopped because they put all the money only into the special effects. Because those dragons were fucking awesome. The mage fight at the end, fucking phenomenal for the time. I thought that those were very well done. And you could see that that's where they spent all the money, and everything else was just
right. There was no money.
And maybe on the costumes,
development.
They're on exactly on the costumes, and then the special effects, but nothing on the story, and so no one was there for it. So,
and I think that particular subgenre is kind of past its prime, because
Merlin's not a thing right now,
and they also
I think they actually have to do it right because Cursed I thought was well done.
Yeah, but who saw it?
And Chris, I watched it.
Well, I'm just saying, overall, I think that particular genre is winding down because it kind of ebbs and flows. Like it becomes popular for a minute, and then it's like, okay, we've seen it. I've had enough. All right,
it's all about the superheroes now.
I need a break. Yeah, and even with that I think Feige. I'm a personal believer in Feige. We trust. What he's doing is brilliant with the TV series on Disney Plus, because those are, you see the effects, but they're so character driven that you forget that you're watching a superhero franchise.
Wait, which one is this?
This was Loki's up now.
Loki's up now, but right,
okay,
the whole phase right now with WandaVision. Okay,
I just rewatched WandaVision with a friend of mine because he hadn't seen it, and he was like, "I want more. I need more of this." I was like, "I know, because it's so well written. It's uncanny. It's like what?"
And they're like, "No second season. Come see the movie."
Right.
I know. I'll be there though. I'll be there.
And I'll be there. And that was the thing that was the only part that I was really upset about that series is that originally, before COVID, Doctor Strange 2 was already supposed to be done. So by the time you finish WandaVision, hey, Doctor Strange 2 in theaters, come see us. Right. And now we have to wait this extra year to finish the development of what Wanda has gone through with her time of loss and the surge of power. And it's like, damn. I was so pissed. I was like, you know what? I can't even watch Falcon and Winter Soldier right now. I need a break. I'm not really feeling that right now.
I've heard good things about Sweet Teeth Destiny, so like I'll have to check that out soon. And then Gam says he worked on Wanda sets. Excuse you, where are your pictures?
What?
Okay.
What?
I need receipts.
Right. Pictures or didn't happen.
Even though they'll probably get her fired and banned from
Right.
any future Marvel.
I mean, you can. We got an email.
Right, you can inbox us, girl. We ain't gonna show nobody.
Right. At
I just swear there's something
admin
real
at
fun.
wellnellymedia.com.
Period.
Right. So speaking of like Marvel and Loki, I'm struggling right now with Loki. I'm struggling. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm struggling right now with Loki. Like I watched the first episode. Several times I've tried to watch the second episode. Like I want to like rewatch from the beginning to see if like anything connects. I've finally watched the second episode like all the way through, but still like and maybe it's giving me like Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it took me a couple episodes for that one.
And also WandaVision.
It took a couple episodes for a lot of other people for WandaVision. Like because for WandaVision, I knew very little about the Scarlet Witch. I was really into the aesthetic of the TV eras that she was doing.
Yeah, honestly, that was the big draw.
Like for me,
but when they revealed it at the end, I was like, "But bitch, yes, give it to me.
Right.
Give me this
so like,
match."
as someone that doesn't know like the history and like the background of Wanda and Scarlet Witch, like I was pulled into the aesthetic of the old time Nick at Night type TV shows,
right?
Because I grew up watching that like late at night. I wasn't supposed to stay up that late, but I was watching Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore super late at night. Like that's what I grew up on. So like I could get with that, and so when people weren't really feeling it the first couple episodes of WandaVision, it was the same thing with Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same way with Loki, and so like it's probably going to hit different once that third or fourth episode come in. So like I'm just going to wait.
And see, here's the thing. I'm not going to lie. I know that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is an excellent series. Mm-hmm. I still haven't taken the time to watch it.
That's okay.
And it's due to the fact that, that was a show that, it was talking about grief and racism, and it's like, as a person of color, a Black person, I am just tired of Black trauma because, and it feels like it's being fetishized in cinema a little bit, like it's like Black trauma porn.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, I need a break. I need a break. And it can't be. It's cute that they may able, our people have to get a couple jabs in, but it's just like, honey, I live it. and my parents and my grandparents lived that, and it's just like, and I know the importance of that. It needs to be pushed out there, because otherwise, then you have politicians that are fighting to get rid of critical race theory, even though that's only taught on a graduate level.
Right.
Not even
from law
you have
school.
to have a bachelor's degree.
Right.
You have to be in graduate school in order to get taught this, and that's usually typically for fields like sociology or being an attorney or a lawyer. Basically public policy. But it's like, well, you don't teach this in our schools.
No one is.
Have you looked at a textbook lately?
They barely do now, but now you know what I mean. Now you're going to take away what little is.
But that's also plug in for this Thursday's episode of Talk It Out, which we are talking about critical race theory because yes, it has to be done. So we're going to talk about that.
Oh, it needs to be done, especially these.
Yeah.
Right.
So Justin, if you have not, so right now I know they raised the price a little bit by like $1 or something for Disney Plus, but you can get the bundle, which is nice. So you have like
Hulu.
Yeah, so there's Disney Plus, Hulu, and then ESPN.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty nice bundle, and that's probably like less than $20 if those are things that you want. But I've had Hulu, I've had Netflix, I have all those things separately. So like, unless there's a way for me to connect accounts to the bundles and I can, regroup. Right. Which I don't think there's a way. They're going to try to get their money regardless.
And be like, no, I have to be a new customer.
If you find out, Justin, if there's a way to like connect my account, my existing account to a bundle for Disney Plus, I will. I don't know. I'd give you a high five. That's what I can do. That's what I promise you right now.
I will love you from here. Yeah.
Right. I will love you from afar.
Okay.
Very, very afar. So yes. But speaking of streaming sites, Paramount Plus. Now for so for I don't know what happened, like up until Paramount Plus launched, a lot of Nickelodeon shows and not like your usual how they would go all the way back into like the late 90s or the early 90s and stuff, their shows. It was a lot of their like 2000 shows like iCarly, Victorious and stuff like that on there. But those shows were on Netflix for a short amount of time. And they even had some, like, newer shows on there. But now, I'm assuming all of them have been transferred over to Paramount Plus. Because I guess Nickelodeon's a part of Paramount? Yeah, I guess so, because all their movies were Paramount, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, they have iCarly, the old iCarly. But they also have the new iCarly, which I've heard really good things about.
Yeah, I just hate that either the producer, the showrunner for that was a real perv.
Oh yeah, the original one, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So I know a lot. I've seen because I didn't really watch those in the '90s because I was too old. That was thinking about it, but
yeah.
I
the problem
hear,
was that he was in on a lot of those shows back then. Like
I think all that because they were showing examples of like bare feet on the show, talking about that was a foot fetish. And the way he was hugging up on him, I was like, this is this thing. And they actually had to pay him $7 million to go away.
Yikes!
Isn't that wild?
That is very wild. It looks like there's so many of those shows back then that he was a part of or had a hand in, like all the way back to All That.
Yes.
All That, Kenan and Kel, the Amanda Show, and all those things that came afterwards. So that would be like Drake and Josh, iCarly, Zoe 101.
Right.
Like he had a hand in all of those things. I'm sorry, y'all. My son is trying to talk to me. What you need, son?
He had his hand out here perving and all these things.
Okay.
All these places with all these
we're
shows.
gonna name and shame. That's Dan Schneider. Name and shame, Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
But honestly, to be honest, Hollywood has been getting away with like that shit in front of our faces for a very long time.
Yes,
it has.
It back to like 40s, 50s.
Absolutely.
Like,
well, even
if you really like watch those movies with an eye, with a critical eye, you're gonna see these things. You're gonna be like, oh shit.
Like Julie Garland.
Like these men were getting away with like doing shit with these actresses just because, and we all know that back in the day, actresses, they could only get by, but they were promised much more for exchange of certain things. So it's like,
child, that was happening today.
Obviously, but you know what I mean? Then it was just, I feel like then it was just much more rampant. Rather, it was just much more open because nobody cared. Everyone just said it was all right because
it was like an open secret. Yeah,
exactly. It was an open secret that was just allowed and things like that. Now it's like, okay, you can't do that because you will get dragged for that shit. You will lose everything for that shit.
Evolution of rape culture because a lot of that stuff that wasn't back then considered rape is now. So that's where the other problems are coming to light. But to answer your question, Billy Berserker, I get it. I'm about not being a Star Trek fan, but if you are a Drag Race fan, RuPaul's Drag Race All Star 6 is on Paramount exclusively.
Yeah, they just moved it over to
and I was like, and I want to see it, but I'm like, damn it, I don't want to pay for nothing.
I'm not doing it. But that's exactly why they did that. Honestly, I'll wait.
But the thing is, like Netflix has gone up to like $18 now.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, and that's like the higher one where like you can do it on so many devices and
right.
It's in HD and like
and have so many profiles. Yeah,
Right. And
because so basically it's a family plan. Because
right.
you have Netflix, you have Amazon Video, Hulu, Paramount Plus,
HBO
Disney
Max.
Plus, HBO Max. You have right. What was the other ones that's on the network? CBS has their own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Stars.
Fox. You
Mhm.
know, I was just like,
Right.
but
Line
then
right
not to
there.
mention the anime, Crunchyroll,
Crunchyroll.
Funimation. You know, it's just like
It could go on for days.
It really
forever.
could.
And
And
that's
you only getting it for like 1 or 2 shows. It's extremely frustrating.
exactly.
And the thing for me, like for Netflix, like if I think what makes the only thing that makes it really worth it is like my kids watch, you know, a bunch of things on Netflix. My kids will watch like the same things on Disney Plus forever. They will.
That's true.
And
yeah,
so,
I feel like on Disney Plus, I feel like I'm rewatching the same thing.
So like yeah, like all the movies, all the Marvel movies, like all those things being on there makes it worth it. Netflix, my kids will watch the same shows on Netflix forever. You know, that's like one of our go-tos. You know, HBO
Absolutely.
Max. Like HBO Max, I think I watch more HBO Max than anything because of
I feel like it's more adult content.
More adult content, but like they have DC, and then like they have a lot of Cartoon Network content
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah, they do.
So like,
shout out to this show, Legendary. Yes, making the
yes. So,
I haven't gotten around to that yet.
No, I literally just binged Legendary both seasons like last weekend.
Yes,
just on HBO Max, like just things like that. There's so much to watch. There's too much.
That's what I'm saying, man. I gotta like budget out time. Although I should be watching that now for the Spirit of Pride, but
like
I've been too busy elfing my ass off.
Like Billy, I'm starting to feel that way a little bit. Like he's starting to price himself to the point where like maybe
Umbrella Academy though too.
Right. But like maybe to where like I go down to a lower subscription and like make it to where like not everybody and their mama can have my account and like have a profile. Like look, because I have a profile, my kids each have their own profile. My ex-husband has a profile.
I was gonna say, is that who that dude is?
No, that dude is Duryea, so that's on HBO Max. No, Duryea is on that one. Look, I'm too giving. I'm too giving.
I mean, you know, it's got to be communal. Like, okay, well, it's got to be, hey, one person gets Hulu, another person gets Netflix, another person gets Disney Plus.
That's kind of
and just rotate it around because this is getting too much.
I mean, that's so what messed me up was when we were doing Sip and Kiki, and I was trying to watch the reality shows live on Bravo. I up to the Hulu Live version, which is
it's like $50.
Yeah, it's $65.
Oh shit! It went up again.
Yes, that's so much money a month for live shows. Like, I need to go ahead and delete that because
live shows, like
live, like so. If I wanted to watch something on Bravo, but I don't have an account for Bravo, I could watch on Hulu. Like they had certain channels where they'll show you they'll show it live.
They'll stream you live the
or
channel
exclusive
for
live content.
But for one channel, $65. I get like all those channels on my cable.
Not just one channel, like multiple channels. All the channels.
All the basic cable channels.
Yes.
Like Nickelodeon, which also that's pretty much where you can watch the Lego movies, which I know we're gonna segue into in a minute.
Yes.
So if you don't want to pay like the paywall for like Amazon Video, and I think it was also on what's the other one? Voodoo.
I mean, like, Like I got the ad version of I had it, but for some reason I paid. I gotta.
Who has the ad version?
Not anymore.
No, I'm saying who has the ad version like Hulu? What's he referencing? He said they should have ad
Hulu
version.
has an ad version.
So that would be like the lower one. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that'd be the lower priced one.
Yeah, that's probably
What's
the
another one?
lowest price one.
Which you're not gonna. I'm not gonna pay money and watch ads. It's one or the other.
Oh, right.
So that's
Right, can we
why
talk about it?
y'all gonna pay money and have to pay for
Except
ads.
that, but they do it at different pricing. They're like, yeah, you're right. You don't have to, but you just have to pay more then.
Oh yeah,
YouTube
TV is the best live streaming for live TV. That's true, but that's also expensive too. Now that one I believe is like $50. Well, I know one of them was $49.99 because they were trying to solicit me, and I was like,
that
I'm
might
good.
be it then.
Wow. I'll let you talk. I pay the cable bill here, which is like cable TV and phone. And that's astronomical these days.
and that's the thing. If you pay for like the subscription on your cable, you automatically have access to the streaming
to all these things. Exactly.
So if you're paying for Stars or Showtime or HBO,
I don't need to
automatically have.
I don't need to get the streaming. Speaking of which, if you guys ever need that, I can do that for you. Because I yes, if you need my album, I got it.
Oh my goodness! Oh my
goodness. Stars, I have Encore. I've got what's that other one? Stars, Encore. There's another one.
Showtime.
Stars, Encore, Showtime. I've got, but the basic ones I don't have. That's it. But okay, so there's the thing.
If you have the premium Showtime, you can also utilize the streaming.
But it's exactly what they did with HBO. They had HBO Go, which essentially at the time was all of their streaming things, but who could access HBO Go? Those of us who could access it through our cable network.
Right.
So I don't have to pay them extra to use HBO Go the way that they would have anyone else subscribe. They would do it through the cable. So to avoid that and make us obviously those of us pay the full streaming price, they moved everything to HBO Max.
Exactly.
Which is kind of what they did. So it's like that's why I feel like Stars, Encore, like CBS has already done it. Some of these other
CBS Access, that's what they're called.
Yeah, Access, that's what it is. CBS Access. Yeah, so it's like they're all kind of breaking out and making their own streaming services, and then kind of moving everything that they had for free that you could get with your cable company and your cable service provider. They're moving a lot of that content onto their own now streaming site, and they're just leaving you with like the old stuff, which is nice because it's like I can get that for however long, whenever. But it was also nice to still get like the new content.
Yeah, I blame Apple TV for all this.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm already paying all this money for my cable. Like, why shouldn't I be able to access it through that? You know, it's like no.
Okay, so Destiny, like a lot of those basic channels, like Fox and NBC, they had some kind of partnership with one of the bigger ones. Like I can
Hulu.
watch
They used to have a partnership with Hulu.
Fox still has one with Hulu because that's how I was able to watch most of Pose.
Yeah, well, that's how every streaming service that now currently has their own streaming service. Disney Plus.
But I'm thinking of like your prime time like channels like Fox and NBC.
Right, they used to have an exclusivity deal with
CBS was like probably one of the first ones to really be like
they created their own streaming
to really enforce their own.
Right, because what happened was it was originally HBO. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It used to be Fox. NBC, CBS started out and then they broke off. They were the first ones to break off because Hulu had that deal where they were like, okay, we don't have, we're neutral. Everybody comes to us and we do the streaming for you guys, and you get a cut of the stream because we'll just play whatever you air on TV the next day.
Right.
And so what happened was people were like, well, shit, why even, deal with them? I'll just watch it tomorrow.
Right.
And, they were like, well, everybody's having their own streaming, so we'll do our own streaming. And it didn't help that Disney bought Hulu. So
yeah. And unless your show had a really good live tweeting background. So like
Scandal.
Scandal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was all about live tweeting Scandal. So like if your show wasn't able to get the following to live tweet, no one folks could wait till the next day to watch your show.
Exactly.
Because Scandal definitely had that on lock. But not even just Scandal. Like Scandal was probably the biggest one, but like TJF Thursday. Yes, Shonda Thursday.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Shonda Thursday, because you had some folks were live tweeting
Grey's Anatomy. Private
Scandal.
Practice and Scandal. Yes,
Scandal.
ma'am.
How to Get Away with Murder.
Yes, ma'am, honey.
Yes, murder. If you were
You
live
wanna,
those, if you weren't live tweeting those things, like what were you doing on Thursday?
Nothing.
I would completely. I would
wasn't
totally
watching
no. I was ignoring my husband and children to watch Shauna Thursdays. Like, do not talk to me.
Listen, this is me time.
This
Yes,
is me
ma'am.
time. The president needs me. Do not talk to me right now. Okay? I'm a gladiator in a hat. Do not talk to me, please.
And Byron, BS13, honey,
No.
or whatever it's called.
Yes, don't do it to me.
Yes.
I'm listening to a Papa
boy.
Pope monologue.
Little boy.
Right. Yes, don't talk to me
Baby!
right now. Look.
Oh
and
my
I'm trying
God.
to follow everybody on Twitter while I'm doing it. Don't talk to me.
But that was also the surgence of a lot of YouTube creators. They were getting their respect with their commentaries for those shows, like Funka Geneva and stuff like that.
Because and AfterBuzz Network,
AfterBuzz TV Network, yeah. Was started from that lady from E Entertainment, wasn't it?
Monopolis.
Yeah.
Maria Monopolis. Menounos. Maria Menounos. Yes.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sorry, lady. We appreciate your content. Because I would also watch that after RuPaul's Drag Race because they would have all the commentary.
Because they had commentary for everything, so many shows.
And then the downside is like, unfortunately, the fandom gets so toxic.
Oh God, yes.
And it's almost to the point that I'm like,
fandom is a mess.
Yes, because like I don't even really like, for example, RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't really.
I was just about to say, Drag Race fans
they're toxic. Like if their favorite gets voted off, especially if they are not a person of color, then they just lash out and blame all the POC that's still on the show, talking about you should have went home before her. You should have volunteered to go home. You're nothing. Your drag is stupid. And it's just like I'm like 5 Gs.
Right.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Look, so like I was in
get a grip.
I got into like the Scandal fandom.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Scandal. Not so much How to Get Away with Murder, but I love Viola Davis.
Yes.
Like, you honor. My client is innocent.
Like what got me into fandom was strangely enough, like it was Scandal, and that was like strangely from like me going from like fan fiction to like finding everybody on Tumblr and then making my way back to Twitter because I had a Twitter in 2009, but I never was on it.
For Scandal.
Oh,
of course there is.
There still is.
Oh my God!
Like there's still something going strong right now.
Right. What's the little guy's name? Columbus Short. Did they have certain things about
some
him?
of the older ones, like the ones that were back from the earlier seasons of Scandal? There's some with him in there. Yes. There's a lot.
Wow.
He's not a major plot point in a lot of them, but like he's in a good chunk of them.
I hate that they had to let him go, but they had to let him go because he was wild.
His home life was causing too much drama.
It was too much.
Yes.
But see the moral of the story, kids. If you get famous on the show, don't get beside yourself, and also leave that cocaine alone. Allegedly.
Leave the drugs alone.
Leave the coke alone. Allegedly.
So like,
coke
is
not your friend.
Allegedly. It's whack.
Leave all the chemical drugs alone.
Right. So like I got into fandom with like via fanfiction and Tumblr from like Scandal and like Vampire Diaries, which from Tumblr I made my way onto Twitter, and like that's when I really started getting into Twitter a lot more.
Really?
Yes. For the fanfiction, don't worry. My Twitter is a little bit more robust because I don't want to talk about it.
But like that's like what I realized. Like I was in fandom, but like I never had a chance to like interact with folks in fandom up until that time. So like I could be considered like I was part of like Buffy fandom. Like I was watched religiously, and like I got like the little quote books and all this other stuff, and like
a shame.
Oh yeah,
it's such a shame with Joss Whedon because he's so creative, but at the same time he's so toxic dramatic.
But you can see it in some of it. You can see it in a lot of his things now. In hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Hindsight is really 2020.
Because it just really hurt my heart, man. Like is that maybe that's more the reason why Firefly didn't make it? because you pissed off too many executives at Fox, and Fox was like, you know what? Yeah, we're not. I don't care if it is good. You're not going to make it
But the
because
thing
they
is, because like
because
Dollhouse came after that though.
Firefly was like first, and then he came with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I think it was Buffy first, and then Firefox, and then Dollhouse, because Firefox and Firefly and Dollhouse were on Fox Network, and
Right.
Buffy was on the WB.
It was on the WB, and then yeah.
Buffy was
Well,
first.
but after Firefly flopped, I thought that's when he moved over to WB.
It was
But even still, regardless, he pissed off somebody because for them to keep moving the nights and playing the show out of order, knowing that there is a single a storyline with that show, you piss somebody off.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm just saying, like people,
Yeah.
they're those executives at the end of the day, they're in it to make money. So if they're willing to like let your like show go into the ground like that, something ain't right. Something in the milk ain't clean, as the old folks used to say.
So, like the first time I watched Firefly, it was probably going into the already downhill by then, because it was like
What's that?
Sunday afternoon after church type of airing. Like that's the first time.
Right, because they had moved it like 5 or 6 times with the nights and the times, and then they were also playing the episodes out of the order because there was a plot that was strung throughout the whole season.
Right.
So if you're watching it out of order, you're like,
right.
what
Was makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm actually done like talking about what I'm geeking out about, because it's been like almost an hour and a half.
Right,
But
okay.
like, I feel like there's something else I wanted to talk about. I don't remember anymore. Oh, one
we
more
got a
thing.
lot.
Okay, go ahead.
One more thing.
Yes.
And one
Harley.
more.
Yes, and one more thing.
And one more thing.
Harley Quinn season 3
It's
coming.
out?
No, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh.
It's coming. So I'm rewatching it. I'm rewatching it right now.
Okay.
But like, did you guys hear the news about they were forced to take out a scene where supposedly Batman did some sexual favors for Catwoman? And they said the reason was heroes don't do that.
But it's supposed to be satire, and it's on HBO Max. Like, come on.
Like, mainly because they can't sell the toys that way.
Oh,
the thing is, though, like Harley Quinn is
that.
not like Harley Quinn's show on HBO Max is not for children
At all, yeah.
It's
But
not
see, that's
for
the
children.
thing. That's what happened back in the day. If you remember with Batman and Batman, what was it? Batman Returns.
Batman.
Oh, like the movies?
Yes, because Tim
Okay.
Burton made it so dark that McDonald's was extremely pissed that they couldn't sell those toys. So Tim Burton got kicked off the director post.
Those are
as
some
far
of
as
the
for
best ones. Oh,
right, but at the same time,
yeah.
they don't care about quality of movie. They care
But
about
the
how
thing
many toys they can sell.
Which is funny though, because like in later years, like they didn't make toys for the other. As far as I remember, they didn't make toys for the other Batman movies.
Quite the opposite. They made toys for the Schumacher ones.
Right. They did like the game thing, like they used to do for Monopoly on McDonald's. Like you peel off the little sticker on your cup and you had like the picture of something.
Just the opposite.
Okay.
For Batman Forever, they because if you remember, they went more camp because Jerry Schumacher took over the helm for director, and also Keaton was pissed. That's the reason why he left the franchise. But according to the heads of the Warner Brothers, they were ecstatic, and McDonald's was also happy too. That's why they came out with the 4th one with Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Batman and Robin went to camp, and also what was his name? Was playing Batman. What was his name?
George Clooney.
George Clooney. Clooney basically phoned it in. He pulled the, basically it was like.
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure that's when I turned gay. Was watching that one.
Well, with all that leather, all that rubber, I don't see
all that rubber.
not.
Oh God, yes.
But if you weren't there for Uma Thurman and Arnold Schwarzenegger, what were you really
Uma Thurman
watching?
was fucking beautiful.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Uma Thurman. If you weren't there for Uma Thurman, like what are you doing?
But I think the biggest issue with that original franchise is that all the villains after Jack Nicholson's Joker were basically trying to up it to get to that level that that bar that he set.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson set a very strong bar, though.
And fun fact, Marlon Wayans was originally supposed to be Robin in that franchise.
Shut
Yes.
the up.
Wow.
Yes. They were gonna put him in Batman Returns, but unfortunately
Stop.
too many
Marlon Wayans in that
Marlon Wayans, yes.
suit, I would have melted
and
on the spot.
and when Jerry Schumacher took over, they decided not to go that route, but allegedly Marlon Wayans got a nice check for it because he did sign them contracts. So you had that going on, and on top of that, if you remember Harvey, what was Harvey Dent, the lawyer?
Yeah,
that was originally what's his name from Star Wars? Billy D. Williams.
What?
If you remember from the first two movies, it was Billy D. Williams that was playing Harvey Dent.
Yes.
He was supposed to be Two-Face. But when Schumacher took over, once again, it got changed and Tommy Lee Jones took over for that role.
Wow.
That would have been really nice.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones was in that.
That would have been really good for Billy D. I would have liked that.
It would have been awesome. But
yes, Billy D.
Segueing into our next topic of the Lego movies,
right?
Billy D. Williams was able to voice Two-Face in the Lego Batman movie.
I thought so.
Oh yes. Okay. So yes.
Yeah.
You like that segue, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yes. Because that reminded me that I need to get back to us doing a commercial.
Yeah.
My B, y'all. Let's do a real quick commercial, and then we'll probably have some time to talk about some Lego movies, maybe.
Oh yeah. We'll make some time.
Yes.
What am I actually telling my body? And the things that our body needs to survive, you can't weigh it down with all that junk, all the chips, cookies, cakes, and pies. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. And I know for me, that's my struggle. My weakness is sweets. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I had already planned when I got this video to make a run to Del Taco real quick and get one of them sweet cheesecake bites. Let me tell y'all something. Them things will make you slap your mama. They're so good. Lord have mercy. Is that drool? That done got me drooling.
That is Tamra Francis of the Mompreneur blog. If you have not already, go check her out on YouTube and check out her content. She's hilarious. She's a fellow CSU grad and she's great. Love her. So shout out to Tam. Okay, so we're actually gonna talk about our main topic now. It's been a long time coming, so
I guess we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, Lego movies.
It's to me.
Yes.
Okay, so can we start with the fact that there are two eras of Lego movies?
Go ahead,
right.
talk about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that alone is really separates how you like the Lego movies, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
The old era and then the new era, because the new era, I think that their writing has gotten so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And so has their animation, though. Oh God, it's so terrible. I think I like the new ones better. Okay, verdict is I think I like the new ones better.
Don't we wish all content was like that? The more that it goes on, the better that it gets.
It just gets better, yeah. So the animation has gotten better. One of the things that I really appreciate about the newer ones is that so the Lego spirit is there.
Mm-hmm.
In the earlier ones, they had the Lego characters that could still move like a human, and then the backgrounds were barely Lego created. You know what I mean? It looked like regular animated backgrounds with an afterthought of let's make these
technology, honey. Technology.
Let's draw lines and make blocks out of everything, and we'll make them look like Legos. But but that's not the original intent there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now they literally build everything out of Legos. You know, the whole set, everything is built out of a Lego, you know what I mean, in Lego style.
It looks more fleshed out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So much more detail.
So nice. So nice. So I have to say that the newer ones I have to say are much better. And the writing is developed much more. Oh God, it's so cool. But it's funny because I was watching the earlier Batman movies, Lego movies, and then the later Batman Lego stuff, and it's you can definitely see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
The earlier things and then the later ones, you can see where they change and where they put more effort in, I guess. or rather reinvest their resources.
Right.
So like,
well, you get a bigger budget when you got a hit on you. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So like my personal favorite is the Lego Batman movie. So, I have to, because like my kids and I, like, we watched that. I don't remember what it was. It was on before HBO Max came out, but it was on like HBO for the longest time. We would watch it at least once or twice a day. My son loved Lego Batman movie, but like it had Will Arnett and like Mariah Carey had like a couple of lines in there.
Yes, Mariah Carey was.
Yes, she was the mayor. Yes.
Yes, girl. I was like, I know this voice. Where do I know this from?
Right.
Right.
She better voice act.
Right. And I was like,
you better voice act. Right. Thank you. She was doing the thing in there, and so I love that, and the soundtrack's pretty good too. I can't deny that. So like I watched that, but
also he makes the best. Okay, so what makes me mad about that is that he makes the best Batman voice.
He does.
Except he doesn't have enough of the Batman look for anyone to cast him as Batman. Yeah, he's perfect. I was like, every time I hear him, I'm like, oh, you are Batman to a T.
Yeah. Same thing with what's his name? James Conroy, the one that does it for the Batman the animated series. Mm-hmm. Like he's the one that originated the two different voices for Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see him in real life, you're like, oh, you're so skippy little thing, ain't you? Yo, cutie. Yeah, it's like all that voice coming out that little.
Yes. No, but it's like one of my favorite things about like the newer Lego movies, and like notice it more with when I first watched Lego Batman, was like like you were talking about, Julian, with the sets or the background is their actual Legos, but like when they try to change things in their settings, it's literally like, oh, we're gonna quickly build this right here. Like you can clearly see them building it. Like someone's like in the background, like quickly building it, and like that's so funny to me. It's so hilarious. I love it.
It's like playing, because they Lego's been having video games for a long time, but it's like playing the PS3 version and then looking at it now with their games now. You're like,
we did what back then? But they have been like amazing.
Yeah, they're always amazing. But
just the newer ones obviously have improved. That's what they've got.
Technology. You gotta love it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, not just yes, technology, but they know how to adapt with it. They have learned how to adapt.
True. That is true. That is a difference.
They learn to still bring their brand through and to bring you quality, because that's another thing. Their writing has improved. You know, the Lego production, their writing is funny. It's funny. I'm out here like laughing, chuckling to myself at random times, and I'm like, oh, what am I watching? The Lego movie? Like, what
right, exactly.
Like, I'm not an adult at all, really.
Right. Well, they really captured the essence of Disney during their Renaissance, late 80s, early 90s, where they would use a lot of adult quips within a child cartoon. Mm-hmm. So basically, it's a way to keep the adults awake while the kids are watching all the little stuff going on. So they'll put little zingers in there that they know that'll go above the kid's head, just to keep us interested while we're watching.
That's how they make it a family thing.
Yeah, it's a family movie. Yes. And somehow they still get that G or PG rating. I'm like,
I don't know how they do it.
I'm like, where? Because they hide it underneath everything, I guess.
Between all those double entendres they just spewed out. That's where.
Right.
There's a G in there somewhere. There's a G in there. No, that's so funny.
I know adult content. You'll be all right. Everybody can watch that.
So like, what did I don't recall too much of the first Lego movie, like the first like big on the big screen. Yeah, that one. But I remember seeing some of it. But like the second one to me is hilarious with Tiffany Haddish. Yes, if you haven't seen that one yet, that one has Tiffany Haddish playing like the villain ish.
So I'm told.
Yes.
We were talking about paywalls earlier, and I'm just refusing to pay another paywall.
Wait, what was this called? What hilarious it's called?
No. This is the Lego movie 2. Lego Movie 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it is Behind the Hero. I was actually wanted to watch that one because you're right. She is in that one. I saw like clips and stuff, but I was like, I definitely want to see the whole movie through, but I haven't gotten the chance to. And because it's behind the paywall, I was like, it's gonna have to sit there.
Okay, because I'm not spending extra money. I'm just not gonna do it.
I think it was on Netflix for the longest time. Like it was on Netflix for the longest time, and
it's not
like pirate sales and like go searching for it somewhere. Like
because basically they bounce around. You're like it'll be on HBO Max for a minute, and it might be on Netflix for a minute. And I technically could go watch it, but under another Netflix region. I'm like, I don't feel like going through the whole VPN and paying for another subscription for that. I'm just not trying to do it.
There's certain ones that I'll just go ahead and pay for, like, because we were watching Lego Batman so much, and then like when they stopped showing it for like not for free, but like
under the
subscription where we were like readily available to watch it, I was like, no, I'm not going to deal with this meltdown from this 2 or 3 year old right now. We're going to buy this video for like whatever $8 on Amazon Prime.
Okay,
we're gonna get the soundtrack. We're gonna get the soundtrack on Spotify, and we're gonna sit here and watch this. Okay, and now he doesn't watch it very much anymore. But it's okay. Of course. It's there. I don't care.
Of course,
because I'll watch it. I don't care.
Yeah,
that's how it usually is.
That's basically
gotta
it.
Gotta make use of it where you can.
Look, I have to.
But again, it brings us back to too many things to watch.
Right. I have to justify, and the biggest way I justify a lot of the things that I have subscriptions for, it's because my kids will sit and watch it. Like, screen time, whatever. If we're just sitting at home, it's just playing.
Exactly.
I have to have background noise while I'm doing stuff, unless I'm like looking at things.
That I used to be much more better with was keeping visual medium content on as my background, but I've shifted more towards music these days, so it's gotten a little bit harder. So like I can't keep up as much with a lot of the shows and things because I don't play them as much in the background.
Right.
I'm not playing while I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing, and I'm not. I feel like I need to pay more attention and invest more time, so I can't even do that while I'm doing something else because I feel like I'm missing everything anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
It's bad. Like I'll be sitting at my desk with my computer, headphones on, like trying to get like highlights of the podcast to put on, on the internet, and like I want to listen to music while I'm doing it, but like no, I gotta actually like pay attention and listen to these podcasts so I can figure out what clips I need to make. But like no, I need something else going on in the background.
You are a genius, I gotta tell you.
She's not good.
She is a visual genius.
Oh my goodness.
She is a visual artist. You hear me?
Stop it.
Y'all better give her tins, okay?
One woman.
Cash App is $ Ricky ZW. If you
hey, y'all better catch her now before her pay rate goes up. I'm telling you.
Hey.
I speak her praises now.
Yes.
That's how I got my next job. So look. Hey.
Okay. Shout out to No Clue Podcast. Let me not forget. Coming soon. Check out the Facebook page and group and No Clue Podcast.
Ricky, what is your going rate? Can I ask?
Ooh,
I'll tell you later.
We inbox that, honey.
I'll tell you later. to run some podcasts, I'll tell you later. Yeah. So, but yes. Okay. So like my thing with Lego, right? So my thing with Lego, there's so many Lego series, like between like the Lego movies.
Oh my god!
Yes,
Lego movies
themselves.
Like Lego movies, DC, Marvel, Star Wars, Bionicle, Ninjago, anything else that they decided to turn into a Lego form. Just there's Lego Disney just by itself.
Right.
They even have a couple of
Doctor Who references in it.
Yes.
It's crazy.
There's so much that they've turned into Lego. There's so much, and like I don't think I could watch all of it. Like it's so much. Like
right.
And like not even just like movies, but like actual TV series.
Yeah, I looked at the list that you was like, yeah, we're gonna talk about the Lego movies, and I started looking at the series on Netflix alone, and then also on HBO Max. I was like, Girl, how am I supposed to get through all this content before Monday? Like,
You don't.
I picked one for each streaming service, and I was like, let me start with the movies. Movie on this one, movie on that one, movie on that one. And I was like, okay, and then a series here.
I forget because like I'm telling you, because like with kids, like I've come across.
they'll watch it.
I'll come across them like just like that. Like I've seen the Jurassic Park one at least 3 or 4 times just with my son. Lego Batman, the DC Supergirls. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right.
Because
I
like
saw
there's
that one. I didn't watch it,
like because there's the regular one, and then there's a couple of the DC like Lego ones. Like I've seen a couple.
The
of
Star
those.
Wars like droids one was actually very good for a series.
Yes.
That one was solid. Just like,
all the Star Wars ones.
Yeah, no, they were really solid. The Freemaker one is really good. Oh my god, the Freemaker one is actually really solid. It's like it follows a lot Lena Freemaker. So it's like it's very much in the spirit of the Lego world where she's a Freemaker. She can make shit, out of nothing essentially. But I haven't finished that series yet. I don't think. I know that one was one I was on like in the background, so I've been catching bits and pieces of it. But it's funny. And I'm like surprised. I'm like, okay, look at this kid show, like making me chuckle this whole time.
Yes,
it's pretty funny. And then it's like, and it's very well done, and it keeps in the spirit of everything. That I have to say that Disney, well, not Disney, that Lego does really well. They keep within the spirit of the universe that they are.
They do.
Exactly.
They do. They do.
They're building within. They really do the research about like all the like the fandom that surrounds it, and like all the canon and like just the storylines and how the characters like they even that's funny because like some of their characters. Okay, so I feel like they do a little bit more about they pay attention a little bit more to the popular buzz around certain characters and then kind of model their characters in that way. So like in Star Wars, like Qui-Gon Jinn, he's there, but they make fun of him and stuff like that. They kind of poke fun at him because he's like the master that everyone loves, but nobody really loves. That nobody screen time. You know what I mean? He's like the master that we love, but we only saw him in the first one, and then that was it.
Right. The lovable asshole. Yeah.
It's like it's funny. He was like kind of there just to kind of like drive the plot in a way, but then not really. And then like there was a moment where he's like, I have a very particular set of skills. He says and I was just
not
like,
doing these. So yes, that's taken.
Look at this little Easter egg. That's what
makes them win.
Yes.
That's what makes them win.
Yes.
That's what makes them win. Lego is great about doing that. They put in like all these characters that they're characters that the actors that play the characters.
Yes.
All these little pop culture references. They really put them in there.
That was what was really funny about the Lego Batman movie was that like they really played up the fact that like Batman has been around for decades. And like,
like 90 years.
Right? Like there's and particularly like what was his name? Like the original like TV
Adam
show.
West,
yes, Adam West. Like they went all the way back to Adam West.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Oh, and then they like played like actual like footage of it. That was the best part. I was like, okay, we're watching a Lego movie and it's like all animated, and then suddenly you're watching like real life, real action, like footage from like the old school movies.
Right. Or how Barbara Gordon was like, hey, why don't we do actual crime fighting? Because Batman's been around 90 years, but he's not captured any of them.
Right.
And I was like, damn!
Oh my god. My favorite line.
She was that one.
So like my favorite line from that movie is like they're introducing Barbara Gordon and they're doing like this little play clip of her of how she was like how she did well in what was it called?
The Harvard Police. Harvard for Police.
Yes.
And then the shirt she had on said Harvard for Police with her gown.
And they're like, she was able to make this city crime ridden with statistics. Yes, Bloodhaven. With statistics and compassion. Like he said it like that, and that's the most hilarious thing.
Because the level of like of intricacies that they added for using Bloodhaven, which is actually where Dick Grayson goes to when he becomes Nightwing.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why there was significance of it. I was like, and Barbara Gordon in some entities, she's Batgirl.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was like, you know what?
I mean,
in the original, she's Batgirl, isn't she?
Huh?
isn't she original Batgirl? The original instance of Batgirl is Barbara Gordon.
I don't think so.
No,
She's the second, if I want to say.
Oh, maybe
Because there was a Batwoman. There was one Batwoman, but then also she had a sidekick named Batgirl. So actually, Barbara Gordon was the second version of Batgirl.
Okay.
Which 90 years of content, that.
I mean, yes,
but you also see that with like all the villains that were shown. Like even if they didn't have a speaking part, like you saw all these
the condiment
yes
villain. That's an actual villain.
I know. See, but the funny thing about it,
but it sounds ridiculous when you're like looking at it as a Lego. But like if you go look that shit up, like
you're like,
it's there, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a real thing.
He was definitely from the Golden Age.
Wow.
Yes, 100%. That was actually a really great reference as well that they did.
Right. I was like, so basically, whoever does Lego, they go deep into that particular genre, that particular franchise's history, and they pull up all the little Easter eggs that they can find, and they're just basically just put it on the wall, like, all right, this is what we can use for the movie. This reference, this reference, and this reference. Because they know fanboys, they live for that type of stuff.
Yes. You know how we talk about how the Marvel Universe and like the planners for the Marvel Universe, they are true nerds, and like their planning room is fucking amazing. I'm sure, you know what I mean. There's probably like nothing but like bullets everywhere. You know what I mean?
There's a little bit about continuity
because they're building the whole universe. Lego is very much like that.
I'm sure they have to be because those level of references in one movie.
I think sometimes Lego does better with DC stuff than
DC itself.
Yeah, like DC movies, like the DCEU, like outside from like the cartoon movies.
Don't get it twisted. The DC
those are awesome. Like you can't deny those, but like compared to the DCEU with the live action movies, these like the Legos does a lot better with bringing all those characters together.
But the one that does the cartoon Beanie, I wish he takes over for the greater ECU. The DCU, I think it would be a lot better if he takes over because the level of care that they take with the cartoons, like. Yeah, because like DC, my biggest issue has always been with DC is that DC, they're always there for the quick money grab, but they don't want to put the actual work into actually getting that money grab. Like the difference between Marvel and DC is that Marvel took the time to put these movies together to make you give a damn about these characters. So by the time they came up to the Avengers movie, you actually knew who they were. They were like, "Oh, that's Black Widow."
Scarlet Witch has been in how many movies before she actually got her own thing?
Right.
She's been.
Right.
Yeah, she was in. She started in Iron Man 2.
No, Ultron. She was in Age of Ultron. That was
she was. No.
She was in the ending scene. Yes, you're right.
No. She wasn't in. She was in the ending scene. No. She wasn't in the ending scene of one of two. Okay. No. She was because she was played by a different actress at the time.
Oh, okay.
Remember, she was working as the secretary under Tony Stark in 2.
Scarlet Witch or not Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, like WandaVision.
Oh, WandaVision. Yeah, she came. Oh, sorry.
Right, yeah,
I got my
your redheads messed up. Yes.
But I am a sucker for a redhead. Yeah.
but even with Black Widow, like Black Widow's been in several movies now.
Yeah, Black Widow started in Iron Man 2. And to me, she should have got a solo. Yeah. Even if it was like a solo run on Disney Plus to start that flagship process.
Yeah.
Because they knew she was gonna die in Endgame. Yeah. So now she's coming out with a movie, and it's kind of like, why do we care at this point? She's dead, allegedly.
Right.
She might come back.
Man,
anything's possible.
Right. She came back enough for her own movie.
See the movie.
I know. I'm just saying, but I'm thinking like Scarlett Johansson though.
And I feel bad for Scarlett Johansson because I really felt she had a bad rap in what was that, Ghost in the Shell?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but she did.
because here's the thing, in Ghost in the Shell, if you actually read the manga and watch the anime, the body type was actually of a European white woman. So
Well,
it was like,
but that's kind of, but she was a main character. To be honest, they would have done that anyway.
but no. What everybody was talking about the character was being whitewashed, but no. In the anime and in the manga, her body type is a European white woman. So I was just like, but she's playing. I'm like, in this instant, like this isn't. But I was like, this ain't my business. This is not my
Right.
fight. So I gotta.
Right. I think her responses to the backlash was, instead of
I
coming
think-
up with like facts, like
Right. If she
I
came
should
with
be able to
that-
play a tree if I want to. Like
Right.
Well, I mean,
like,
to
for
be
example,
honest,
you
it's
remember-
also probably one of the more mainstream like animes, but the main character is supposed to be a European white woman.
and like
I mean,
and that was-
you know, it's one of the more mainstream animes that has a female lead. Ghost in Shell, I've known about since like I was a child. You know what I mean? Since I was
right.
younger,
But that was the thing. Like if you go into the background of the manga, the anime, she's not an Asian woman by her body type.
I'm saying that. Yeah,
So it was just kind of like that's what I was confused about, because if you look at a lot of anime, they have a tendency to kind of, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. They have a tendency of whitewashing their characters,
yes,
and then how you going to turn around and then get mad when Hollywood perpetuates what you're already putting out there? I'm so confused.
But okay, so I guess the thing here is then also then like shouldn't they have cast a white character for Ed and Al Elric? I mean, yeah,
yes, because they were German
in their Full Metal
they were German.
live action.
They
exactly.
were German.
I mean, I understand.
But at
like,
the same time, with that,
but should we have really done that? No.
But at the same time, though, that's a little different because the creators for that particular movie, that was an Asian movie.
Right,
So,
they made the live action. The release it was released
in Asia.
Production and the whole
we went off on a whole other like tangent.
Yeah, we did. I'm sorry.
It's so funny.
That always burns my biscuit because I can't figure out.
Okay,
because
so
I'm like,
I hear what you're saying there, but at the same time, I'm like, but they washed. My only thing is like, but they whitewash their characters for a reason, for market reasons and things like that. It's not because they, I'm sure they would rather their main characters be more themselves as their writers.
So maybe it's less about, it's not necessarily so much about marketing, but like the original like ideas themselves.
But see, my understanding of the style, because technically, just I'm an outsider, so I'm trying to respect that. Right. But at the same time, my understanding of it is that when the genre actually started, the genre was basically a mimic or an imitation of like Disney back in the 50s, 40s, and 50s. Yeah. So a lot of that style was integrated within that. And then also when you look culturally at Asian culture, there's tends towards a whitewashing of content, and that's just going from a colonizing standpoint, from being colonized back in them days. So it's like
that in itself is something that like I don't like saying true to some things like that, because it's like we're just going to sit and perpetuate that. No, let's break that cycle, because to be honest, it's born from that oppression, that internalized imperialism, all those things. That's where it's coming from. So it's like, no, I don't want to see it in front of me.
Right.
Make the change now, especially if we're going to do things now in live action. I want to see the live action now with characters true to where they should be coming from. She's literally the only fucking white bitch in that goddamn movie. Why? She shouldn't be fucking be there. Like, you know what I mean?
But again,
I understand.
That's the anime, though. I mean, that was.
Got it. I suppose I got it. I suppose I got it. But it's just like.
We need to do better. That's what I
got.
We need to do better.
And you're right. There was plenty of other Asian actresses that could have did just a bit of job. Like Michelle, was it Yeoh?
And that we would have been alright with it. The one who's in Shadow and Bone currently, the lead in Shadow and Bone currently, Jessica something. Oh God, I can't remember her name. Whatever. She's beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? There's plenty of people who could still play that role. It doesn't have to be Scarlett Johansson.
You're right. It just, I felt like she got a bad. She got a bad rap.
You're right. She did get a bad rap because I feel like I remember afterwards they did like a United Colors of Benetton like a photo shoot thing and then photoshopped Scarlett Johansson's face on every single one of those people's faces and I was like, oh girl, they are just coming for her.
Yeah, they drug her,
dragging her.
But I feel like if she and again, I think that goes back to who is your PR, because I feel like if they if she actually was enveloped within that character, she would have known that and she could have stated that. Probably stated it a lot better than I have saying it now.
No, but I hear what you're saying.
Right, but that goes to what are you doing the art for? Are you doing it for a check? Or are you doing it for the art? Are you doing it for the love? Because if she had a real genuine love for that particular subgenre, then she would have known the material enough to be able to articulate what I'm saying.
Right.
Basically. So I'm sorry, I'm the queen. I'm the king of tangents. Forgive me.
But that's okay, because it's actually time for us to close
Wrap
out.
it up, B. Wrap it up.
Lego one's amazing. Batman one, watch it.
Right.
Everything is awesome.
But yeah, Destiny, you're right. There is the idea that Black people don't watch movies that shows characters that are now white. It is. You're right. But wrapping it up. Sorry, I just had to get that.
All right, so
Destiny.
So I didn't do this earlier. So if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Does Geekin Out on YouTube. Do the same thing for the Nelly Media page on YouTube. If you are watching us right now, make sure you share. Whenever you watch our videos, share it. Because, we love to have more people
know you watch it.
Right. Let people know that you're watching it. And, we love to meet.
Geek out with us.
Yes. We love to talk to new people and have you guys all join us.
We love your feedback. If there's something you want us to talk about.
Yes, please.
Let us know.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
We're a very eclectic, a number of geeks here. We can geek out about them.
We can figure it out. If you tell us something you want to talk about.
Honestly, in the spirit of pride, I was like, oh, we should have done like drag queens or something. But we still have a couple weeks, so there's still time. Pride is
there's only 9 days left of Pride, but
Pride is
all summer.
Just Pride month, I guess.
We'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it.
Out of those 9 days, 5 days later, there's still time.
If we were running at full capacity, it would have came up. So it's okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
We are rolling with the homies.
So
honey,
okay.
This whole post-COVID thing, honey, people are going outside. They're getting their life.
Listen, I just got my second shot just so I can go outside and go live my life.
Look, it's hard to keep up with the children these days. They are out of here, honey. They're like, look, I got
their names.
Look, I got to get out in the streets. I ain't got time to be on this podcast. Yeah. And I respect that. But, your homie got you. You know what I'm saying? Right. I got you.
Thank you. So, of course, we want to say thank you to Mo for joining us tonight. Chris wasn't able to make it tonight because he wasn't feeling well. So, we hope he feels better. Shout out to Chris. We miss him.
Yes, definitely.
But you can find Mo on Instagram, Twitter, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, the TikTok, Mo Smith Pro, P-R-O, P as in Paul. R-O, and you can find them on the Cash App too to drop a couple dollars.
Yeah, no matter how small, no matter how big, that is $MoeSmith, P as in Paul, R-O. Okay, yes. Listening on the podcast, you cannot be able to see this blurb. God bless you.
And then you can find Julian on Instagram too at bad with the double D's Juju. So BADDJUJU.
That's my Cash App very soon. Don't worry.
We all have to do
I will put that dollar to use. Don't you worry. I'm going to show you how.
Yes.
Okay. Look, cosplay and cheap, honey.
Right.
What? Oh, girl, it is not. Okay, sewing, pinning, sewing fabric. Okay, some of the best fabric, nicest looking fabric, Yu Han. Worst fabric, Yu Han. Don't ever buy her shit. It's useless fabric. $60 for a fucking yard of fabric, and it's useless. Oh God, I don't want to talk about it. I could go on for days. I could have a whole episode just on how much I cannot stand Yu Han fabric.
Oh my lord! Well,
which is great cosplay fabric, which is the worst part. Like the prints on them are beautiful. They're perfect for things like that. You know what I mean? They're made to be cosplay, but the actual quality of the fabric is so terrible.
Oh no!
And it's so much more overpriced than quality fabric that it's unreal to me.
Yikes!
It's unreal.
Well, it sounds like, Julian, you need to come up with your own company of fabric.
I think so. Like, I'm gonna have to make some real knits and some real four-way stretch performance fabric because Yu Han clearly doesn't know what the fuck she's doing.
And I would call it bad juju with 2 D's. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right.
The foundation is already there. Become, honey.
All right. And so you can also find me on Instagram at Ricky RICKEY_Z and on Twitter at _RickyZ. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, and for those that stuck it out with us as we went on several different tangents and eventually talked about Lego Batman or Lego movies in general.
But Lego Batman, really.
But mainly Lego Batman because that's my favorite.
Travis is like the best one. They all are great.
That's my favorite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So thank you guys for watching tonight. We'll see you guys next time. All right. Good night.
Bye.